Hey, it's Arit here with Essetino Media, helping you create profitable content. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a QR code for your website so that when someone scans it, it'll take them directly to your website URL. So this is handy for things like business cards and flyers and brochures. You can see here on my screen, we used this QR code on the back of our business card. So I designed this business card here. This is the front side and this on the back. So let me show you how to do this with a tool called Beaconstack. Now I like to use Beaconstack because it just makes it super simple and easy to pump out these QR codes, but to also customize them in a way that, I want it to fit with my brand. I wanted to make it fit into whatever it is that I'm putting that QR code on. And it gives me data as well, so I can see how many people scanned that QR code. I can even get data like where someone scanned it from. They have a GPS feature. So let's get started. I'll show you how to create this and you can see what I mean along the way. And if at any point you want to check out Beaconstack for yourself, I'll put the link in the description below. So you will need to create an account with Beaconstack, and once you're logged in, this is the overview section or the dashboard of what you'll see. The first thing you want to do is head over to where it says QR codes on the left-hand side here. And when you collapse that, click on QR codes, that first option over there. Next, you want to click on Create a QR code, this button, the blue button on the right-hand side here. And from here is where you'll be able to create a QR code for absolutely any function you can think of. You see here, you can create one for a restaurant menu, for a form, a PDF, access to your social media accounts, or to download an MP3 file. There's just so many things that you can play around with. The very first and the most common one is linking to an existing website. So I'm going to click on this right here, and then I'm going to type the URL that I want the QR code to scan to. So this is the URL that you want people to land on when they scan the code. So I'm just going to put our website right here, and then I'm going to hit next. Now this is the fun part where you can have fun with the way the QR code looks. Everyone knows it sort of looks like what you see here on the right hand side, but Beaconstack really allows you to customize the shape of it, the color, the way that the QR code looks, and it's all still scannable, which is great. So the first thing you want to do is select a template. So there's 3 templates here. You can either go with the default way that it looks, or you can choose a gradient like what you see here with a little icon in the center, which you can adjust that icon. You could change the color of the gradient and everything. I'll show you that in a second. Or you can choose a circular QR code. So this is what I went with. If you remember here, going back to the business card, this is what we liked to use, was a circular QR code, just because it stands out, it's different. So I'm going to go with this template, and I'm just going to show you here. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll actually see this section on all of the customization tabs. So it'll ask you more advanced features if you want to turn them on, like for example, turning on GPS location so you can see where people are scanning this from. You can also collapse this advanced settings part, decide whether you want to require a password for them to access that URL, or if you're running a campaign and you only want people to access the URL or the website during a certain period of time, you can set those dates here. I typically don't touch any of this. I like to keep it simple when I create the QR code. So I'm just gonna scroll back up here and head to the next part, which is logo. I don't typically like to add a logo to my QR codes. When you do though, it'll add it in the center of the QR code. So when you add a logo, it typically looks best if the logo is stacked, or it's like a square or more of a vertical logo. Ours is horizontal, so it looks not that great, but just keep that in mind. If you have a stacked logo or a square or an icon for a logo, that will look really great in the center. And you just need to click on Browse, select the file from your computer, and you'll be able to see the preview and what that looks like off to the side here. You can also play with other icons that they give you here. So you can choose from these icons or upload your own. That's fine too. Like let's say, for example, if when they scan that QR code, it takes them to a video on your website, then what you could do is download like a play button icon, just to give you an idea, right? You download a play button icon, and when you upload that here, it'll show the play button in the center, which is a nice little touch. So you can have fun with this, but this is where you would add a little icon or logo to the center. The next part here that you can customize are the eyes of the QR code, and those are these areas right here. So right now they're circular, they're black, they're circled with red, and we can customize and change the look of all of those. So if you wanted to change the eyeball color, you can do that from here and make it more aligned with your brand colors. So we like to use purple a lot, so I'm gonna make that purple. I might want to change the shape to something like this, which is a leaf, and the iframe, I might want to change that to, let's go with maybe a lighter purple, something like that. So as you're customizing it, and this is what I really like about Beaconstack too, is as you are making these changes, it will tell you off to the side whether the scannability is good or, you know, not so good. Because sometimes on these other sites, when you customize a QR code and you go to scan them, they don't scan very well, right? So it's telling you right away whether a choice you're making to customize that QR code is going to be scannable. And I always like to go with excellent. Like, I want the scannability to be excellent. I don't want people to struggle to have to try to, you know, get a good scan or anything like that. Sometimes it might not scan at all. You want to make it super easy for someone to scan it and go directly to your site, right? So I always make sure the scannability says excellent. And right now that choice that I made, it just modified it to good. So I'm guessing that's because of the lighter color. And if I choose a darker color, it's going to like it better. Yeah, there you go. See how it changed to excellent? So I'm going to keep it there. You could also change the shape. This is right now set on circle, so you could change that shape, but I'm going to leave it like so. Next, I'm going to go to pattern, and this adjusts the way that the data, those little data points on your QR code, how they look like. So you can see here, as I'm flipping through, you might want like the more darker bold or circular. You know, you can play around with this to see what it looks like and what you like best. I like the dark and the bold one, so I'm going to stick with that. You can also change the entire, you know, the color of the entire pattern. So if you don't want it to be black, again, you can play with your brand colors, and let's just say I wanted it to be a darker purple. So I just changed it there. Scannability is still excellent, so I'm going to go with that. Another thing it allows you to do here, the background side of things, is whether you wanted to change. Right now it's white. The background of the QR code is white, but if you wanted to change it to an entirely different color, you could do that too. But again, always make sure you're paying attention to the side here. I like to keep it on white. You do have the option as well to put a background image on the back of that QR code or make it transparent, but I'm going to leave this as is. And finally, the last thing here is the frames. So whatever the QR code sits in, you can customize that. I have it right now on just this, but if you wanted to put it, let's say, in a box where it says scan me, you can see you can download this like so, or use any of these other templates here. And you can change the text. So if you don't want it to say scan me, and let's say, you know, you have a free training on your website or a free guide or PDF download, so you could say something like scan for free training, right? And it'll adjust the size of the text. So you want to come up with very few words as possible in there. I'm just going to leave it on the circle for now. Once you've customized it, you're happy with it, you're ready to go to the next step, which is pretty much downloading the QR code. I'm going to hit next. You're pretty much ready to download your QR code. The only thing is here, you want to enter a name for the QR code because Beaconstack is going to keep track of all the QR codes that you've created. So you can always go back in there and modify it, see the data for it and that sort of thing. So make sure it's a name that you recognize. So I might say here, this is for, so I like how it put the date in there automatically. So I'm going to put, this is for business card, right? I'm going to hit save and then download my QR code. So it allows you to download it in whatever format you need. If you're going to be putting this on, let's say, a brochure, a business card, or what have you, I always like to just go with the PNG file. And you can see here, it's put it in my downloads folder. So I just opened it up. There it is. It looks awesome. And then you just need to hit finish so that it saves all of that information so that when you go back into your QR code section here, you'll see this is the one that you created, and it'll show you a little snapshot of how many scans and that sort of thing. If you need help with designing your business cards or any sort of print marketing material like a flyer or brochure, I'm happy to help. I'll put my email address in the description below, and make sure you check out Beaconstack as well. I'll put that link below so you can have fun with this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.